Hello everyone, welcome back to Game Cave Development. Joining me today is Brandon, lead heavy, breathing heavy, lead, breathe heavy, James. What do you think? What do you think we should do? What do you think it should breathe heavy? Is it a
Always a pleasure to be
lung
on.
heavy?
Oh,
Lung heavy? That's close.
I
Uh,
like Brandon has no other art choices.
Bro, you backed yourself into this corner, you know?
One bite at a time.
Yeah, you backed yourself in. So, quick update since the last cast. We have had an active person who just likes to dislike everything I post now. I've always waited for that, and now we have one. It's awesome. They apparently just can't stand this sort of thing. It's probably someone who really wants me to do landscapes or something. And they
Uh-huh.
just decided to thumbs down everything I do until I see their will. I don't really care. So, you know what I mean, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I don't care, dude. Like 10 years from now, this shit's gonna be kind of interesting. So, what were we doing last time, Brandon?
Last time we were going over my last model of the ship and making hopefully final revisions or close to there.
And what have you done since then?
I have
This would be the last. This would be last time's model, right? Where we
right.
last left off, right here.
Yeah. Since then, I made all the different changes you wanted me to make as far as skull, adding things like exhaust ports, uh, things over the turbines, made the little skull fighters, or scum fighters, sorry. Um, added railings, things like that, and all the other little revisions you wanted me to make.
Well, let's see if that's true. Let's test that theory. Let's open up your file. And this is about the time we'd get the thumbs down.
Right. Oh, also, it's going to go from Rev 4 to Rev 6
No,
because
I figured that out.
I worked on 5, and then when Jessica worked on it today, my wife.
Yeah, the revs are really for our conversations. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't
Okay.
care what you do at home. So just stick to the
I always
numeral.
forget to add the grid lines before I.
Now, for a minute there, I was like, "What did you do to the engine?"
Oh no,
Oh,
that's a little bigger just to
these need work.
so you can see it, not
Yeah,
this size.
this move. How about that? So I'll go ahead and delete that for now. Yeah, what happened to the skull?
I
Why is it
changed
all
it.
wobbly?
I can't I can't make the circle indents for the eyes.
This
Like,
is horrible.
all right, then I'll put it back to the
This
way it
is
was.
worse. This is absolutely worse. This is the worst ever you've done right here. This
All
doesn't
right,
even look remotely right, dude. This
I
is like if
can't.
you tried to model Mikasa.
I can't. Dick. I can't. I can't. I was having lots and lots of trouble making the eyes, so I had to make these grid lines and then try to make at least the square
Nah,
shape.
you're doing it the way hard fucking way, bro. Hey, can you make a circle with straight lines like that? Okay. Now this is horrible.
All
That goes
right,
back whatever you
that
had
goes away.
before.
All right,
We don't do that.
all right.
That's unacceptable.
Want to look at the railing up on the observation deck and all that.
No, I'll look around.
All right.
Just try to steer me towards what you want me to look at. I'll look at what I want to look at.
All right. There's other good things I like.
Good for you. I'll get to it. It was so bad. It's like when you go on a date and you're like, that's not like to pick at all. Just let's just leave it with the basic shape you had before, and I'll just draw over and fix it. But that goes to show you have some serious weaknesses in your modeling that you need to pay attention to those tutorials, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're just shoving stuff all over the place now.
I made them look symmetrical and
Nah, I'll
they
work it
look.
out.
All right. Well, I think they look cool the way I did it.
Well, great, good for you. I don't fucking care what you think. Who is the person here who needs to say it's cool?
You. But I'm just saying I
Right.
should at least like what I'm making.
Why should I like what you're making?
No, I should.
I don't know about that. You just have weird. You're just not thinking the rights. This is gonna take training. I don't care what you think. You start imagining really cool worlds you can design, dude, then we'll fucking start caring what you think. Right now you're training, so don't fucking start. Let me give you a word of advice. If it doesn't look remotely like the art, if the shape is all bent up, right, like this is not a solid shape, okay?
Okay.
This is a solid shape, that is a solid shape. This is the complete fucking opposite of a solid shape. If you arrive at this, delete it and give me the original shape, okay? Don't
Okay.
turn that in. This right here, let me explain something to people. For all those who, like, nobody who watches this, right? I'm going to give you a sound piece of professional advice. If you show someone who would pay you, say, theoretically speaking, this, they would lose confidence in your ability to do anything. They don't care that you could go out there and figure it out. You know that that's not something you should turn in. All right? It's not school projects where you turn in fucking horseshit. All right?
Uh-huh.
If you can't meet the basic construction shape in your final build, don't turn it in. Put back the original shape and be like, it wasn't working out. And if they demand to see what you had, then all right, you have that. But don't just you're just giving like future employers ammo, bro. You know?
Gotcha.
These need to be thicker. The thickness on this.
Uh-huh.
This right here, I like the way I've set these up right here.
Okay.
But these need to have more weight like this.
All right.
Not as thick, obviously, just a little bit more, like, you know?
Okay.
See how like this has some thickness, right? These need some more Mega Man-y thickness. Don't ever just do yourself a favor, bro. I like talking you up. That shit don't help. So let's go here. And then I'm gonna just delete these and you duplicate this over.
Yeah.
pull that in just a little bit. Heavier engines don't need to stick out as much because they're heavier. Now that's an engine fit for a capital ship. Now I think maybe we'll take that, just rotate it slightly. We'll take that and we'll just move it down so it's in between. Okay, this, no, no engines up there. No engines up there. No, no, no. These need to be much thicker.
Okay.
Much thicker. And pull them forward. Oh, never mind. Where we're at's right. It's gonna be much thicker. And yeah, like, how to increase the. It doesn't need like a little fan. It needs like a vent. The serrations. You know what I'm talking about?
Kind of like inside the turbines.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, no. No, no. Nice. Actually, one piece, but it is not. Gotta make sure these are one pieces before you hand them in, too. All right. Can't be selecting these fins and they're like each a panel separated from one another, bro. See what's happening? You can't select them and move them around.
I thought they were one shape. I just made
They
the.
really aren't.
All right, I'll fix it.
Yeah. You know what? I think you've done enough for this for now. I think I'll take over. Just fix the thickness on those back engines and put the original shape right there. This is too much. Or just take it and move it the fuck up. Don't care if it's. Hurting you. All right. If you treat this like a joke, dude, you know, like it's kind of goofy when we go to turn stuff in. Like when I look at back at my work, right? Like when I really sit back and go, am I gonna print this? You never notice sometimes I post stuff and then I'm keep tweaking it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tweak it for like 2 days, and you go, wow, you updated that again? You updated again? It's because I'm doing this to myself the very next day. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't just go, well, that's it. I turned it in. You know, the only time I've ever done that, I've had to hear it from people about fucking swords not being straight or fucking this one person's eye is a little off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I fucking always tell myself, okay, that's what I put, but I have to fix it, you know? So it gets fixed. So don't get all like, like don't stress out over them. Be like, oh well, I like it. Don't. That's not, just say okay. You
Okay.
know, when you start modeling your own ships for your own comic, then you can like whatever the hell you build. You know, I'm trying to get you a job, right?
Correct.
So, you know, dress for the part. I really am happy with what you've done. You know, I just don't like that attitude. I mean, you've come a long ways, but you have to take the criticism, you know, appropriately. So let's see this. At some point, when these are done, I'll do detailed drawings on how to do this properly, what you're trying to do. I just think
Uh,
fiddling it with models is not the point. It's not what you did right here with those things all over the place. Couldn't work. It's that it would be easier for me to draw it than to sit here and fiddle stick with it.
gotcha.
It's not necessary to what I need for perspective, right? I can add in look how far away these things are going to be, right?
Right.
They're not really necessary. Those engines back there, they add something, right?
Yeah.
See, look at that. That's a cool. See, let's go straight. This angle's down, and then this in the middle adds contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Look over here, you can see them, right?
Right.
Like they actually do something. I want this wing fixed too, dude. We've talked about that 100 times. It needs to taper properly. The way, you know, wings would, like these back here do.
Yeah.
So those need to get fixed. These, I don't know, they're all crooked. Undo it, put it back in there, and then just rotate it so they fit forward.
Okay.
It needs to come out like this.
Like the bottom ones.
Yeah. And they need to kind of this way and this way, like to maintain that. Like look at this straight on, dude. There's something here. Look at this. This is wrong. It's not symmetrical, right?
Right.
This is right. This is right. This is off. Whatever that is. I mean, I get this is the front view. It's not a symmetrical view, but you could see, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's wrong. So just duplicate this, flip it on the horizontal, and make sure there's a thing you can do. You can take the center, you can realign the center pivot so that it's when you flip it, it flips on the proper situation.
Okay.
So yeah, so just put that back up there, and I'm gonna save this. Then we'll look back at the scum fighter thing because I have a feeling that's all binary rev 06A. I'll close this and then I'll reopen your 06. Much better right here. And all right, so let's delete. It looks like a fucked up Nemo. No, this is all wrong. This isn't anything remotely right. Nope. What to do about that? Oh, we'll fix it. That's what we'll do.
Can you?
Right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you take the original design and kind of?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
So I can do it right here for everyone to see. So looking at this big fin that I thought might split in two so it could land on it. Just trying to figure out how you get, you know what? I don't got time for this.
Right, I thought it was two fins, so I just had them too far
Well, let's just look at the picture because, you know, you're not always going to get like really good direction from clients. I'm just letting you know. Sometimes you're going to get a shitty little sketch like this. So let me see here. So we'll start with the side view. This is why you have to continue your penciling skills with construction. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to take little blobs here, and then before you even start, just start to do a little sketch and go, okay. So I'm thinking, I'm not drawing this with like lines, right?
Right.
And then I'm using the transform tool, right? To alter the shape. Using Photoshop as a compositional asset, which is the biggest thing you've got to learn next to construction. It's how to use Photoshop to compose and alter composition. These should be the same blades you have on the ship now, just brought down. You should take the same blade, scale it down, and get the same shape. You shouldn't be modeling whole new shapes. You know? You cannot forget the style guides, bro, when you're working. What's the style guide? Mega Man Legends, right? Like for
Right.
the shapes, for the shape plate. What about this as Mega Man Legends? Kind of, you know? But these cannons are more like they're not this, like a World War II cannon, right? Mega Man Legends doesn't have this, so it's gonna be more like this. Where you have like this, and then there'll be like this little end part. I mean, just you gotta really like one of the things I have to do before I start when I get reference from clients is really tear apart the reference, like start to rebuild the reference shapes. Get a good sense for what that stuff's gonna look like. Because a lot of times people are tied to the construction of stuff, whether they realize it or not. Now look, I can go right over the silhouette. If you depend on the client to give you every little answer, you are not going to be seen as a valuable asset. I'm just letting you know. You have to start to develop the ability to do this. This is not hard, bro. Does that help?
Yep.
So just take the skull shape you've done before on the thing and scale it down and get it to work right. Don't do this.
All right.
Sad little malnourished Nemo. So this fin right here, when it lands, would split into two. And these right here would split into two and come up. Do you understand how that works? So when this lands, it lands like, imagine this. Say it's over here, right?
Mhm.
Right, and we're looking up at it. It was to land. It splits. Do you see?
Yeah.
And their turrets don't move. They're fixed. They can only go like this. As opposed to Cat, she has a 360 bomb-o-matic. So hers can go in 360 degrees. These are more like line of sight. And the fin is something kind of like this. Dude, I'm pretty specific with what I want. You want to know how many times fucking clients don't know what they even want? I just had to sit for an hour listening to a client this morning. Well, we kind of, we don't want something like this, but we want something we don't know what, like how we are, like this. Like no tangible direction, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't be frustrated when I'm giving you the answers. It's impossible, dude. I mean, your ego can be butthurt, but you can't get fucking mad at that because, dude, imagine this. And if you don't train to win, you're gonna be fucked because it's like, let's say you getting your paycheck is dependent upon this being right tonight, and your fucking rent's due tomorrow. You've been there, right?
Right.
Remember that the motion comic stuff?
Mm-hmm.
When you were like God Almighty, remember the map? All you wanted to do was be done with the map,
Right.
And the guy didn't even know what he wanted with the map, And I had to interpret it for you, dude. So it's like all I'm saying is that one of the things we got to really work on, dude, is being able to take scraps and fucking turn it. It's like cooking, like on Master Chef when they get the fucking shitty pieces of stuff.
Yeah.
They get the fucking sweetbreads and the God knows what, and they turn that into like can of fucking whatever. And what helps with this is not being able to have some mystical oracle. Well, Rob, I'm not smart like you. No, no, no. It's seeing these shapes. It's coming in here and going, okay, I know this, where this is going to go. And he wants, these kind of chunk shapes with things cut out of it. And if I know that, I can start to build these little, if you don't know how to do something, fuck, dude. I mean, that's one thing, but I'm telling you, what you're trying to do here, like to get this, is really you're going to find is not hard. Just you're overthinking it. So, whatever. But two fins here, I don't even know where you get that from that. I mean, I guess you could go, well, this, but then the fin, I already told you before when we had previous conversations to just pull the fins off the back of the Motherload. Use them there, or even the Jolly Dagger. Like, these should not be as tall. These should be snubber. Like, a BG, like a prop plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, what a BG is? It's that thing in Rocketeer that he's flying.
Yeah.
So let me save this. There's no reason why you can't be done this week with this thing, so you can move on with life.
I'll
Right?
be done. I'll be done by tomorrow.
It's a pretty easy thing to build, dude. So the other shapes you've made and stuff, they work fine. You know, it's just their placement and everything else. We'll work on all that later. Lesson fucking learned, whatever. But other than that, dude, the fucking ship came out. That's not it. We should fucking actually open the ship. Where is it? 6A. Like, all this shit is dope, dude. This is dope. Ah! Fuck. This is dope. Back wings are great. This just looks like rushing. That thing right there. You know, I mean, I know we got things going on, dude, but, you know, if you rush at the end, then scale's fine. Back here's good. This works. I mean, other than that skull thing, is there anything else on this that you yourself, you know? I mean, compared to the Jolly Dagger, right? Like, this was easier, harder.
Easier just because I'm getting more familiar with stuff.
Look, I know you need more training, so I'm not pissed off about that. You know what I mean? And I'm not even mad. It's just one of the things I learned early on in my career, right? Hey, long arm, is if they don't believe in me, dude, you know what I mean? If they don't believe in me, it's a vote of no confidence. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I learned that working with Dave. Like one day Dave would be like, "Oh, everything Rob does, you're on a roll," and then he'd be like, "Dude, you step backwards." And I would be frustrated, like, "What the fuck are you fucking draw this shit?" But then you know, in hindsight, you know, I have to step outside myself and go, "All right, what was the disconnect here?" You know, especially when I was drawing for him, because how do you fix art, right?
Right.
I mean, here you're manipulating shapes. But to fix art, I mean, like, you know what I mean? To fix art, it's like, fuck, you know, if they don't like the drawing, I mean, they don't like the drawing. I don't know how to fix a fucking drawing. I mean, remember the Critters piece I did? When
Mhm.
I first showed that to him, he hated the ratchet I drew. I tried to make the ratchet look just like the concept art, the way he's drawn in the concept art. And Dave hated it. He couldn't get past that ratchet face. So I learned early on with Dave, like his thing was faces. The character needed to look like the character from the. I could fuck around with hands and feet and whatever, but the face is super important. You know, for me, the big shapes are really important. That thing you don't like to do is the most important thing to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know why you don't like to do it because it's hard. I understand it's hard. I understand that those big shapes, dude, require like it's almost like sometimes you almost feel like you lucked into it. It's not that you lucked into it. It's that it require there's a there the it's a razor's edge, dude, between a really good big shape and fuck that's horrible. And then the way I can describe it to you is, and you'll know what I'm talking about, is you know when like McFarlane gets a toy license and someone else gets the exact same toy license.
Right.
McFarlane makes a Halo figure, or Metal Gear, or let's say McFarlane makes Street Fighter, or you know the Udon looking Street Fighter toys, and then GI Joe makes the Street Fighter toys.
Right.
That's the difference, right? And you're like, oh wow, like, you know. And so, you know, like if you like, and the reason why I stress on focusing on that is because if that's solid, if that foundational shape kicks ass, bro, everything you add on top of it is fucking just it's decorations, cherry on top shit.
Right.
If that foundational shape is wrong, there's nothing you can do. Like that skull, there's nothing you can add to it.
Yeah.
So you found. Remember, I told you every piece you're gonna hit a wall, right?
Right.
That right there, that's your wall. That's gonna take sub D modeling, subdivisional modeling to do. So I know how to train you on it. So don't fucking stress about it. But what you should stress a little bit about is just don't show someone if it's that fucked up, and it is. Just be like, I couldn't show you. If you really want to see it, I saved a screen cap. And I go, oh, let me see the screen cap. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, good job. You know what I mean? That's how you handle it. You have it in your portfolio ready to give it to them when they really want to see the damage. But don't, just say, look, what I was going to do wasn't working. So if you really need me to finish it, I'm going to have to go back and do some dev.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, since I'm not, a client, I'm more like a partner. You go, well, do you have some things I could do? Would you recommend? I mean, you have to be more proactive, you know?
Gotcha.
You can't be like, well, I mean, I just couldn't do it. Yeah, no shit, dude. Like, but do you know that? Or did you just resign and be like, well, fuck it. You wanted to see my progress. And I understand that's a hard thing to get, dude. Like, my first fucking 3 years working, it was a hard thing to get. So what, you don't want to see it? You told me to do it, but you want to see it now. Now you're arguing with an art director, you know?
Right.
And you experienced a short week of you've seen that go wrong, right? Like,
Yeah.
right? Like, but you said, oh, I said, right? Like, well, what are they trying to get at? What they're trying to get at is that you will build the ability in your own mind to critique yourself according to the standard of the studio. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I know it's fucking boring hearing me lecture you and shit, but I think it's, a lot of people learn from this dude.
Right.
Like, I wish all my meetings with Dave were recorded so I can go back and watch them because I'd laugh. I'd go, Dave's right. Like, I know now if I could go back and rewatch those from 2009, 2008, I'd be like, well, he's right, Rob. Like, you know, um, I mean, after this, dude, you just got what, the city, and you're done on this issue. So that's it. You know? How do you feel about Maya compared to SketchUp?
Uh, I like different things about each one. Once I get to the city, I don't know which one I'd use, but maybe probably just Maya, just because I've been using it. But it's I don't know how to explain. I guess SketchUp just because I did the buildings with it. I'm thinking, okay, SketchUp is buildings and shapes like that, and then Maya, I'm thinking, all right, this is more for curved things and things with sharpness to them. So I think I would just have to look at this city and then go from there and just whatever you wanted me to use or try and see what would be the best fit. I also need to work on explaining myself. That's not, that's another thing. When you ask me these questions, I don't really know how to word them the best way.
Oh, you definitely need to work on articulating your opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like all around. I mean, if there's any one thing, I had mentioned about you was, he doesn't seem to. I'm like, he's not a dude. I know you're not dumb, dude. You're a smart guy. Like, you know how to play odds. You know all sorts of shit. You know what I mean?
All
You know
right.
all the fucking like you're not. But when the minute you feel like you're out of your depth, you just start chewing on your shoelace. You know, like I'm like, oh, they think he's a moron. And now they think I'm a moron. Like,
Right.
fuck. You
I
know.
th- I think like we've discussed before that no one before you has ever really asked for my actual input as far as making something like this. So I kind of get I guess, deer in the headlights for lack of better terms. I mean, I could sit here and bullshit about anything else. Like, I mean, we're talking movies, anything. I can go off and just be like, yeah, this is my opinion. I'll stick to it. But then it's like, you're like, so what do you think about trying this shape? And I'm like, I like shapes. I just, I don't know.
Oh,
I
you've
just,
got a long ways to go with that, and you really have to just like focus on, my target. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And you need to get comfortable enough with sculpting where you can then, if you don't understand what I sketched out for you, you can go back to the reference, copy model some stuff to get a feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get that mental space. Oh, okay, so I built this. It took an hour or two. Okay, cool. Okay, I got a good feel for how that's going to look, and then you come back. It's the same thing as like when you go and you sketch Batman for an hour,
Right.
and then you go draw your own Batman. It's the same thing. But it comes down to these foundational. I told you, the biggest thing when it comes to the 3D thing is that you're gonna have to change the way your brain thinks. You know, I mean, already, dude. Like, you're doing shit now and seeing things now that you never could before.
Right. Mhm.
So, it's progress, dude. And I'm not demanding the impossible. Like I'm drawing the shit over this stuff, so it doesn't. It's not like these are made for prime time models. There are people with far less talent than you commit themselves to whole animated movies having no fucking clue. Like, what that means. I'll just go draw a movie because I watched the making of and it looked like I could do it. Make sure these are all sticking out appropriately. Like, you know, whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect. But overall, this works. Those giant engines back there work like that. So, good times, dude. All right, man. I got a fucking crap load of work to do. Brandon, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Lead Heavy.
All right, and then you think we should do one more when you're done?
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll do one more when you're complete with that, and we'll move on to the big city shot because I got to show you what I built to give you an idea too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely one giant fucking shape. So that'll be great. I'll see you all soon. Talk later. Bye.